There are a number of reasons why people succeed or fail in their lives. This is especially so in terms of excessive spending on things that people don't need, or people ending up in debt or unable to afford the things that would make their life easier. I include all of this within the concept of self-improvement. So I'm going to tell you why all of this is so, and we're going to start right now. My name is Lewis Harrison, and welcome to another Ask Lewis Self-Improvement podcast. If this is your first time here listening to the Self-Improvement Show, and you're looking for lots of self-improvement hacks, tips, thought-provoking ideas, just hit the like button below and subscribe. I broadcast about 3 times a week, usually on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday. Throughout my life as a successful coach, writer, a radio talk show host on a national public radio station, NPR, I've always had an interest, even a passion for self-improvement. Some people call that human potential, self-help, personal development, but whatever you choose to call it, it involves expanding your knowledge, your status, your character by your own efforts, and also through the support of others. So if this is an interest you have, you're going to get a lot of information in this podcast and in all my podcasts. They tend to be short, usually about 6 to 10 minutes in length, but they're very motivational, inspirational, and content rich. Now, as I say in every broadcast, self-improvement has 4 key elements: emotional, physical, the daily routines, which we're going to talk a lot about in this particular broadcast, and planning and strategizing. You can't really do anything if you don't have some plan or some strategy, because you're going to just be running chaotically and randomly. So what I want to talk about tonight is what's called life hacking. And life hacking is any shortcut, do-it-yourself tool, technique, tip, method, anything that helps you do something quicker and easier at a lower cost than going out and buying at retail. Anything that's do-it-yourself would be considered a life hack. And I wrote a book, by the way, on how to hack your life through game thinking, because a lot of my work is built on game theory. If you saw the movie A Beautiful Mind, I see life as a game to be won. It doesn't mean anybody else has to lose just because I win, but it's a game to be won. And that means there are other players, there are rules, there are cheaters, there are environments, which I call game spaces, or they're like playing fields. And if you see your life as a game that has to be strategized, you really can save a lot of money and get a lot of things done. So I really save about $40,000 a year by doing certain things myself. And I have something called 25 core resources, which include time and space and information and influence. And any of these resources can be tapped and used as a way to save money and maximize your potential. And when I say maximize your potential, I'm not just talking about potential. I'm talking about being wise to practicality, being more efficient, more effective, more precise. So let me give you an example. Yogurt right now is kind of expensive. I think a quart of it's about $2.50, $2.60, $3. So I can make yogurt for 14 cents. How do I do that? Well, I go to the dollar store and I buy some of that Bioflora. It's like $1 for a bottle. And then I go and I buy some whole milk when it's on sale. And I take a small container of yogurt, plain yogurt, the kind that has the natural bifida in it, Dannon, anything like that. No sweetener, nothing added to it. It's just plain yogurt with active cultures. And I put that into some milk that I've scalded. I haven't boiled it, but I've heated up till a little smoke comes off it. And I do that because that neutralizes certain proteins and enzymes that'll get in the way of the process for making yogurt. And then what I do is I put a little teaspoon of sugar or a little teaspoon of powdered milk in there. And I add the fresh yogurt into this warm, not boiling milk. And if it's a 3 liter or it's a gallon of milk, I can have a gallon of yogurt for about $4. in 4 or 5 days. Then I want to make cottage cheese, which good cottage cheese that has no preservatives gets really expensive. If you take any kind of acid, cream of tartar, maybe even ascorbic acid, vitamin C, I could take some fresh vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I put a teaspoon in there, and you're going to see that the curds and whey separate. If I strain that out, I'm going to have cottage cheese, very inexpensive. I make my own kombucha. I make my own bread. I make my own yogurt. Now, it does take time to do some of this stuff. Kombucha takes no time at all. I get 9 tea bags, 9 green or black tea bags. I take some sugar. I put them in a gallon of water. I heat it up really hot. I don't boil it exactly, but very hot. And then I add a little bottle of kombucha I buy in the store for $3.95. And in about 2 weeks, I'm going to have a gallon of kombucha. And that's $3.99 for 8 ounces. And here I'm doing a gallon of it for about $3.99. So that's what life hacking is. It's about learning. You can get all of this stuff easily on YouTube. And I'm a prepper also. If you don't know what a prepper is, some people go to extremes. I don't. A prepper is somebody who is prepared for what they call a SHTF, shit hits the fan, a flood, a hurricane, an earthquake, a volcano, riots in the street, and polluted water main pipes breaking, anything that would cause chaos in your life. You read about it. Places flood, water main breaks happen. So I'm a prepper. I don't go to extremes. I have an apartment in a city, but I have about 2 months worth of grains and beans and nuts and seeds, and I know how to store it, and a lot of canned food, vegetables, tempeh, tofu, a lot of stuff. Water that'll last me 2 months, clean drinking water that I get from my water distiller. So this is what life hacking is. And as I mentioned, there's a book that I wrote about life hacking and prepping and how to do it. The hacking it's called How to Hack Your Life Through Game Theory or Game Thinking. And there's a link to that book here in the description. So what I want you to understand is that if you don't know how to hack, if you don't know how to prep, if you don't know how to do any do-it-yourself, you're going to be spending a lot more money than you have to, and you're not going to be able to save money and be more effective and more productive, and you're also going to feel lost. So here's one big hack for you as I finished off this broadcast. Right now, and the date here is the 10th of June in 2003, there are wildfires all over Canada, especially in Quebec. And the wildfires are so bad that the smoke has put New York City in a major fog, Washington, D.C. in a major fog, Quebec. It's affected Toronto. And so what you really need is an air purifier. But air purifiers are expensive. So this is how you create an air purifier at home. You get a box, any kind of Amazon box would work perfectly fine. And you can buy filters, but if you can't buy filters, you can always go to a 99-cent store, dollar store, and buy 5 or 6 packets, if you got the time, of those face filters, the ones that you were buying during the COVID pandemic. And you can just crazy glue them together. I know it seems a little eccentric, and you can buy a filter if you want for 10, 15, 20 bucks, but you can also buy a pack of 10 or 15 filters for a couple of bucks. And you slowly crazy glue these filters together. You put them inside the box, and you buy a box fan, but you put that box fan upside down on top of the Amazon box. So it's blowing air into the box. And that will suck polluted air out of your room, and all that dust and dirt and crap will be caught by the filters inside. And this is how you make an air purifier at home with some duct tape, a box, some masks of filters, and a box fan. And there's a lot what prepping is and life hacking is. It's about repurposing things, using things, reusing things, being more effective, efficient, precise, productive, self-aware. This increases your productivity and reduces the expenses and costs for you living. Imagine how much you can save making your own yogurt, making your own kombucha, baking your own bread, or do it yourself in many other ways. So that's today's broadcast. I appreciate you listening in, and please subscribe here, share it with your friends, family, and peers. Also like it, and look at the resources in the description below. I'll give you some resources on how to reach me, and also some free articles about what we're talking about right now. And also, you can learn how to get that book about life hacking, how to hack your life with game thinking. Have a great day. Thanks a lot for listening in, and be well. I will talk to you again on Tuesday.